world watched in shock and disbelief as news of Princess Diana's untimely death reverberated across the globe. Once a beloved figure who captivated the hearts of millions, her life was tragically cut short in a fateful car crash in Paris on August 31st, 1997. In the weeks leading up to that fateful day, Diana's life was a whirlwind of activity, personal turmoil, and a growing sense of unease.
Did your relationship with James Hewitt go beyond a close friendship?
Yes, it did. Yes.
Were you unfaithful?
Yes, I adored him. Yes, I was in love with him.
From her bombshell BBC interview that shook the foundations of the royal family to her growing fears for her own safety, Diana's final days were marked by a palpable sense of foreboding.
Do you really believe that a campaign was being waged against you?
Yes, I did. Absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
I was a separated wife to the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What do we do with her?
Can't we pack her off to somewhere quietly rather than campaign against her?
She won't go quietly. That's the problem. I'll fight till the end because I believe that I have a role to fulfill.
Join us as we take an intimate behind-the-scenes look at the last weeks of Princess Diana's life. What choices did she make? What challenges did she face? And how did these events ultimately converge to create the tragic outcome that stunned the world? By August 28, 1996, Princess Diana and Prince Charles' divorce was finalized, stripping the People's Princess of her Royal Highness's designation, retaining only the title of Diana Princess of Wales. After their highly publicized divorce, Diana received a £17 million settlement and continued living in Kensington Palace, focusing on her charitable work and humanitarian causes. The tabloids would romantically link her to several men, including surgeon Hasnat Khan and singer Bryan Adams. In the summer of 1997, Diana began a relationship with Dodi Fayed, the son of Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Al-Fayed, with whom she was first photographed with on a yacht in the south of France in July 1997. Prior to that, Diana with her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, had vacationed in St. Tropez in the French Riviera in June 1997 at the invitation of Mohammed Al-Fayed, an equally wealthy businessman and owner of Harrods. Al-Fayed was interested in fostering a closer relationship with the British royal family, and he saw the invitation as a way to strengthen ties. Additionally, the romantic relationship which had begun between his son and Diana further motivated the invite. At St. Tropez, Diana and her sons stayed at Al-Fayed's luxurious villa, Castel Sainte-Thérèse, and enjoyed various activities, including swimming, jet skiing, and relaxing on the private yacht Johnny Carl, also owned by Al-Fayed. The villa and yacht provided a secluded and paparazzi-free environment, which was a significant draw for Diana, who was constantly under media scrutiny. The holiday was an opportunity for Diana and her sons to relax and bond away from the public eye, as well as a chance for her to spend time with Dodi Fayed, who was present during the vacation, furthering their romantic relationship. The presence of the Fayed family created a supportive environment for Diana, who had faced significant media and public pressure since her separation from Prince Charles. After the St. Tropez vacation, Dodi and Diana's relationship became more public and intense, and they would be seen together on several occasions, including another trip to the Mediterranean in August 1997, attracting significant media attention, with paparazzi frequently pursuing them. Shortly before her birthday, she returned to London with her sons, so she could resume her duties and prepare for a significant public engagement, as William and Harry prepared for their upcoming school term and spent time with their father. On July 1st, 1997, and her 36th birthday, Diana was the guest of honor at the 100th anniversary celebration of the Tate Gallery in London, a prestigious occasion recognizing a century of contributions by the gallery to the world of art. The Tate Gallery, now known as Tate Britain, is one of the leading art institutions in the United Kingdom, established in 1897 with a collection mainly composed of British art from the 16th century onwards. The gallery's 100th anniversary was a milestone, celebrating its role in preserving and promoting British art. The Princess of Wales was invited due to her status as a prominent public figure and her known support for the arts and various charitable causes. Her presence added a touch of glamour and drew significant media attention to the event. She graced the celebrity-studded event in a black gown designed by Jacques Azaguri. As it was her birthday, she received an extraordinary number of flower bouquets, 90 in total, sent by admirers, friends, and well-wishers who wanted to honor her on her special day, and to equally symbolize their affection and appreciation for her charitable efforts. One of the most touching moments of the day was a birthday surprise from her younger son. Prince Harry, who was at school, had gathered a group of his classmates to sing happy birthday to his mother over the telephone with the help of the school staff. This thoughtful gesture highlighted the close bond Diana had with her sons, despite the challenges they faced due to her high-profile life and the scrutiny of the media. Following the events that marked what would be her last birthday, Diana spent some time privately, resting and relaxing at her Kensington Palace residence, away from the public spotlight. On July 21st, 1997, in what became her last official engagement in Britain, Princess Diana visited the Children's Accident and Emergency Unit at Northwick Park Hospital in London. That morning, she departed from Kensington Palace, accompanied by her sister, Lady Sarah McCorquodale. As a member of the Spencer family, Lady Sarah was a close confidant of Diana and often accompanied her on royal engagements. The Princess of Wales had a deep affinity for children and was patron to numerous charities that supported young people in need. Her visit to the Accident and Emergency Unit at Northwick Park Hospital was an opportunity for her to offer comfort and support to the young patients during their difficult circumstances. On arrival, she spent time interacting with the children, listening to their stories, and providing encouragement. Diana was known for her ability to connect with people, especially the most vulnerable, and used these public engagements to raise awareness for important causes close to her heart. Meanwhile, in Milan, Italy, preparations were underway for the memorial service of fashion designer Gianni Versace, who had been murdered earlier that month. Versace and Diana had been close friends, and the Italian fashion label was a favorite of the princess. Celebrities from around the world were arriving in Milan to pay their respects to the iconic designer. On July 22nd, Diana would travel from London to Italy to attend Versace's memorial service following his tragic murder just outside his home in Miami a few weeks earlier. Upon arriving at the airport in Milan, she was greeted by representatives from the Versace fashion house, who escorted her to Milan Cathedral, the venue of the memorial service. A host of celebrities, designers, and other mourners had gathered to pay their respects, including Elton John, Naomi Campbell, designers Karl Lagerfeld, Carla Fendi, and Ty Missoni, among other close friends and colleagues of Versace. It was a somber occasion as the fashion community came together to honor the life and legacy of one of their most iconic members. During the service, Diana had the opportunity to offer her condolences to Versace's family, including his sister, Donatella, who had taken over the fashion house after his death. The Princess of Wales' connection with Gianni was rooted in their shared passion for fashion and their mutual respect for each other's work, which was evident in the many public appearances they made together. Versace was known for his bold, glamorous designs, which often featured in Diana's wardrobe. After the memorial, the princess spent some additional time visiting the Versace headquarters and meeting with the family in a more private setting to show her solidarity with the company that had been such an important part of her life. And as the day drew to a close, Diana made her way back to the airport for her return flight to London. On August 9, 1997, Princess Diana departed London for Bosnia to continue her campaign against landmines. In her lifetime, she campaigned for the banning of landmines and was in fact the patron of Hello Trust, an organization that removes debris left by war. She would spend 3 days in the country, visiting areas affected by the devastating weapons and meeting with victims and aid organizations. On arrival in Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, she was greeted by government officials and representatives from the Landmine Survivors Network, the US-based charity that organized her visit. In the afternoon, Diana visited a prosthetic limb factory where she met with landmine victims who were being fitted with artificial limbs. She also toured a local hospital and met with doctors treating landmine injuries. On the second day, she visited rural areas outside Sarajevo that were still littered with landmines left over from the Bosnian War. She equally visited the homes of landmine victims and their families, offering support and bringing attention to their plight. On her final day in Bosnia, she visited a rehabilitation center for landmine victims, watched physical therapy sessions, and spoke with patients about their recovery process. The princess also met with representatives from various aid organizations working to clear landmines and support victims.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must begin by saying how warmly I welcome this conference on landmines, convened by the Mines Advisory Group and the Landmine Survivors Network. It is so welcome because the world is too little aware of the waste of life, limb, and land which anti-personnel landmines are causing amongst some of the poorest people on Earth.
Before departing, she gave a speech emphasizing the urgent need for a worldwide ban on landmines. The People's Princess left Bosnia on August 12 for London, where she continued her advocacy work, meeting with government officials and speaking out against landmines. This trip would be her last major public engagement. She would stay in London until August 21st, when she flew to the French Riviera to meet Dodi Fayed for yet another vacation. Dodi was waiting for her on his family's luxurious yacht, the Gianni. This trip was part of a series of vacations they had been enjoying together over the summer, building on their budding relationship. The vacation lasted until August 30th, covering a span of 9 days, during which the pair traveled around the French and Italian Rivieras. The itinerary included various scenic and exclusive destinations, offering both relaxation and opportunities for privacy away from the public eye. Dodi's yacht served as their primary residence during the vacation. The Gianni was a 60-meter luxury yacht equipped with all modern amenities and staffed by a professional crew, ensuring a comfortable and private environment for Diana and Dodi. The yacht allowed them to move discreetly between different locations along the Mediterranean coast. This entire trip, they engaged in a range of activities that highlighted both the beauty of the Mediterranean and their enjoyment of each other's company. They spent considerable time cruising along the coastline, soaking up the sun and enjoying the serene ocean views, as well as relaxing on the deck, sunbathing, reading, and talking, finding solace in the relative privacy that the yacht provided. Diana and Dodi did not hold back on various water sports, including jet skiing and snorkeling, which were a favorite of Diana, who loved being in the water. They also swam in the crystal-clear waters of the Mediterranean, taking dips from the yacht. They also made several stops at picturesque coastal towns and islands, including Portofino in Italy and the island of Sardinia. During these excursions, they strolled through quaint streets, shopped, and enjoyed the local culture and hospitality. Despite efforts to maintain privacy, Diana and Dodi's vacation was heavily monitored by paparazzi. Photographers in boats and on land persistently followed the yacht, capturing images of the couple. These photographs were widely published in tabloids around the world, fueling public fascination with their relationship. The constant presence of paparazzi created a stressful environment for Diana, who had always been wary of media intrusion. As their vacation drew to a close, they decided to return to Paris. And on August 30th, 1997, they traveled from the island of Sardinia to Olbia Airport, where they boarded a private jet for the flight to Paris, intending to spend a few days there before returning to London. At around 3:30 in the afternoon, Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed arrived at Le Bourget Airport near Paris from Sardinia. They were driven to the Fayed residence, Villa Windsor, by Philippe Dorneau, a trusted driver for the Al-Fayed family. At approximately 4:30, they arrived at the Ritz Paris, a luxury hotel owned by Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father, and checked into the Imperial Suite, a lavish accommodation befitting their status. Later that evening, between 5:40 and 6:30, Dodi visited Repossi Jewelers, and 2 rings were delivered to their suite, sparking speculation that he was planning to propose to Diana. Around 7 o'clock, Diana and Dodi left the Ritz and headed to an apartment on Rue Ars Ni Hussein, another property owned by Mohammed Al-Fayed, offering them a private space. At approximately 9:30, they intended to have dinner at Chef Benoît, a well-known Parisian restaurant. However, due to the persistent presence of paparazzi, they decided to return to the Ritz for privacy. By 9:50, they were dining in their suite at the Ritz's El Espadon restaurant, avoiding the crowds and enjoying a quiet meal together. As midnight approached, on August 31st, 1997, Diana, Dodi, and their bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, attempted to leave the Ritz through the rear entrance to evade the paparazzi. Henry Paul, the hotel's head of security, was driving their Mercedes. The plan was to escape the relentless photographers who had been pursuing them all day. And at approximately 12:23, the car sped through the streets of Paris, trying to shake off the photographers. Henry Paul lost control of the vehicle as it entered the Pont del Alma tunnel. The car crashed into the 13th pillar of the tunnel at high speed. At around midnight, firefighters received the first call for help from witnesses. Among the first to arrive were tourists and passers-by, some of whom tried to assist. Xavier Grumelin, a firefighter, was among the first responders. And according to him, Diana was conscious when they reached her and reportedly said, "Oh my God, what happened?" before losing consciousness.
Personne ne savait que c'était elle, personne ne l'avait reconnue. Donc moi quand je me suis approché, voilà, c'était une personne blonde qui était assise au sol, qui reprenait conscience à ce moment-là et qui me regarde et me dit voilà, oh my God, what's happened, donc un peu agité. Donc j'ai essayé de la calmer et puis lui dire de rester calme, qu'on allait s'occuper d'elle et puis après elle est retombée dans le coma.
About 12:40, police and firefighters arrived at the horrific scene of a car that was now a crumpled mass of metal and glass. Trevor Rees-Jones, the bodyguard, was severely injured but conscious, while Diana, who was found at the rear right seat, was conscious but in shock, suffering from serious internal injuries, particularly a torn pulmonary vein. Dodi and Henry Paul were unresponsive, as they had both died instantly from the impact. At 2 in the morning, Diana was transported to La Pitié Hospital. It took about an hour for her to be extricated from the wreckage and transported due to the severity of her injuries and the complex rescue operations. Despite efforts to stabilize her, she suffered a cardiac arrest. By 4 p.m., Princess Diana was declared dead by Dr. Bruno Rio. Her injuries, particularly the tear in her pulmonary vein, were too severe to survive. At 6 a.m., the British ambassador to France, Michael J., announced Diana's death at a hospital news conference, informing the world of the tragic loss. The news was immediately broadcast, leading to an outpouring of grief across the globe. Later that day, around 6 p.m., Diana's body was transported from the hospital to England, accompanied by her sisters, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, Lady Jane Fellows, and Prince Charles. The plane carrying her body landed at Royal Air Force Northwick, and her coffin, draped in the royal standard, was transferred to a hearse and taken to a private mortuary. The public's response to Diana's death was immediate and overwhelming. Thousands of people gathered at Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, and other royal residences, leaving an unprecedented sea of flowers, cards, and tributes. Vigils and memorials sprang up worldwide, reflecting Diana's global influence and the deep affection people felt for her. She was mourned for several days, with a period of national mourning declared in the UK. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, were at Balmoral at the time of their mother's death, and it was their father who gently broke the devastating news to them. On September 6, 1997, Diana's funeral took place at Westminster Abbey, attended by dignitaries, celebrities, and a grieving public, while millions watched the broadcast worldwide. Elton John performed a reworked version of Candle in the Wind in Diana's honor, and her brother, Earl Spencer, delivered a powerful eulogy, criticizing the press and praising Diana's charitable work and dedication to her sons. Her coffin was carried in a horse-drawn carriage through the streets of London as her sons, Prince William, then 15, and Prince Harry, 12, walked behind the coffin alongside their father, Prince Charles, and grandfather, Prince Philip. Princess Diana was later laid to rest on an island in the Oval Lake at Al-Fayed, her family's ancestral home. The public was not allowed at her final resting place, as the interment was a private ceremony attended only by close family members and a few friends. The media was not granted access to the Oval Lake during her interment to ensure the privacy and dignity of the occasion. To this day, the Oval Lake shields the secluded island from public access and media intrusion by ensuring the burial site is private and well protected from potential vandalism or excessive public attention, while at the same time maintaining a strong connection for Diana to her ancestral home. Princess Diana, often referred to as the People's Princess, left an indelible mark on the world through her compassion, charitable work, and dedication to humanitarian causes. Her tragic death at the age of 36 shocked the globe, but her legacy endures through the countless lives she touched and the causes she championed. Diana will forever be remembered for her kindness, empathy, and the enduring impact she made on the world.